Alright, hello everyone. So let's take a look at Tuesday. Let's start off with gold. Now remember, Wednesday is the swing day for gold, so we're not going to muck around and stand in front of it. If there are pullbacks, going into Wednesday is okay. One thing to look out for is you can wait for Wednesday, okay, because the market is going up, and on the PST it's like really up there. On the monthly also it's really up there. On the daily, see, we've got room to go, but at the end of the day, if I mark this in, okay, we are at levels where the market kind of like it's okay for a bit of a reversal to happen. Okay, so tomorrow is a swing day. If we're on the highs tomorrow, a bit of a retracement is okay, maybe into this red bar here or down to here. At least to close this gap here on this red bar is logical to kind of pull back. Okay, so if we're snaking along like this tomorrow from the highs, two things can happen. If the trading hours are at the top, market can sell off. If the trading hours, the market is low, it could break out to the upside again. Okay, the trend is up. At the end of the day, we should come back down a little bit though, and then if it's going to go up, it should go up afterwards. Okay, so I'm not in favor of buying the highs. Yesterday I also said the same thing. If it pulls back into a trading hour, going up is okay. If it doesn't do that, it's just going to sizzle along from 1 hour to the next. It's just going to keep pushing from one trading hour to the next trading hour. As you can see here, that's pretty much what happened. If the market comes down and you want to go long at trading hours, this is one zone, this is another zone where they picked up in the Asia session. Okay, and that's basically it. With the euro dollar, we said Monday, Tuesday is a swing day, so selling the highs, I said we're okay with doing that. Okay, the trend is still up to the upside. I said these 3 hours here, including this 10:45, is actually good. And if you sold the highs, you should have been okay, because at the end of the day, that bar closed, that bar opened, stop loss should have been above that, so you should have been pretty much okay. Selling it again on Tuesday on the highs, I think, is okay. Like I said, Monday, Tuesday is a swing day, and that could take us into the final of the week. Okay, so selling the highs, I'm okay with doing that. Okay, don't sell the lows, obviously. If we're ending up somewhere at the tops, pushing down is okay. If at trading hours we're down at 1430, you have to be careful, because that's a daily PST level here. Okay, and then it should come, I'm thinking the market should retrace. And then we've got the 69, which is further down at 1305. But we don't really need to look at 1305 here just yet, because it's just too far out. Okay, but in any case, this is kind of like okay to come into this 1430 and possibly into the weekly pivot. Okay, because Monday, Tuesday swing days, we're at the highs, so selling is okay from the highs at trading hours. SP 500. Now SP 500, yesterday I said it's a swing day, so the market has come down here. Yesterday I did mention this zone is actually nice. Let me make this a little bigger. Is there. Alright, now yesterday I did say the market can turn around from here. It's not a bad spot at all. Was that it yesterday? Just bear with me. This is yesterday, yes. Alright, so that was it here. Okay, but it didn't do that. At the trading hours, you can see it start to sell off. So this was actually a sell-off location. Okay, so if you bought this level, alright, if you bought in this zone, because that's where did I mark it in? I marked in this level. Okay, this was the bar, remember? And I said at trading hours, this is okay, and going long from here is not a bad idea. Alright, and it wasn't a bad idea, but it just didn't work out. Okay, at the end of the day, so these are trading hours in this zone. So if you bought here, you would have been stopped out at least there. Okay, because that's below the green zone there. Okay, but what you should have noticed is this: once the market broke low, okay, then we can understand that we're going into the next swing hour to the downside. This is why I said if it breaks down, don't stand in front of it, because we don't have any other hour up to here, and because it's a swing day, we could still hit the swing day at the lows. So the market came down into these swing hours on the daily price target there, okay, and that's where the market like picked up from, okay, and that's it. So that was a PST level there, which the market broke down into, okay, and that was a 33, remember, 5165. That's the 5165. Market breaks down going into the next trading hours, and those trading hours, blue dotted lines here at the bottom of the channel, okay, and this is where the market picked up. So when that didn't work as a buy, market broke down, stop out. A pullback is okay in New York to sell off, okay, because now we're taking this as a sell. And if you sold here at the low of that where the market broke out, okay, or if you sold, you could have also sold right there on the green line where the market broke down, because that's the goodbye kiss zone. Your stop loss should have been above the gap, okay? But if you know technical analysis, you would have taken the gap into consideration. Why? Because that's the breakout. That's the breakout. That's the low. If that turned into a sell and not a buy, the market comes back. $37.5 to 25 sells off, okay? In any case, 37.5 should have been a place to look out for if you were sellers once the breakout happened, okay? Once before New York pre-trade session, this was taken out, so London sold off. New York brought it back and sold it all the way into the trading hours, okay? So if you followed that, you should have been okay, because we understand we have a swing day, so the market's either going to start swinging there or swinging there, okay? So once that happens, we've got the swing day, all right? Now, that's Monday swing day. The next swing day is later on, so we're on a Tuesday here, all right? So at least what we can do is follow that going into that direction. If you're waiting for it again, what you need to do, this is a 5-minute chart. As you can see on a 5-minute chart, it's pretty accurate, just pretty much on there, the market beginning to take off and going. If I turn this back into a 15-minute chart, and we can just put those levels in there, 350 was the first hour to 455. That's your 455. Market is dipping down, but this has got room to go now. We should at least get back into here, because that's gap closure. So if you bought that low, okay, then going up is obviously the way to go, okay? Because remember, yesterday that's what we said. It's a swing day. You want to look for a reversal. And then this should go into, this is the 750, all right, nice and easy. Market going up from here, and then 1130, that's 1130. So we should now head off into 1130. Now 1130 is going to be an interesting spot, but it should keep going into 1:30 to 2 o'clock. All right, so we should really go into 1:30 to 2 o'clock. That should carry on, okay? And then that can keep carrying on today. So you just have to mark them in, okay? A slight pullback may happen at 3:15, and then that should take us into 6 o'clock. Okay, and if that's the case, we can keep pushing into 9 o'clock, and it could just be a flow day like that. Okay, and that's, you know, how it should be, because if that's the swing day, that's what we're looking at. All right, I hope that makes sense. Okay, and let's go back into Dow Jones. Now with Dow Jones as well, if you recall, we had a Dow Jones, Nasdaq, SP 500 swing days. So swing days, let's see how it worked out with the Dow Jones. But it's the same kind of mentality. Okay, if we have a breakout, boom, we're coming into the next swing hours. So Monday, that was 925. That's your 925 bar. Okay, and then we've got the 1040. It's obviously there. All right, so that's where the market took off. And once again, this is like logical market pushing up, so we should probably go into that zone. If the market pulls back into the closing of yesterday and you want to push up at trading hours, it's doable. Okay, but that was it really yesterday. Okay, so we had that level yesterday. Let me just check the weekly as well. Yeah, on the weekly, there's still not, you know, real level there. On the monthly, it's done that PST level. There's still room to come down on this one, but on the way up. Okay, so on the way up, we're going to look for a place to sell later on. Okay, but this is basically it. So we've got room to come up. Okay, and that's basically how we should be doing it, exactly according to the swing days. Okay, and that's that. Nasdaq. So if the market pulls back on a smaller time frame, you just want to push it upwards. Okay, now that 47 is a target of 39,987, so take that into consideration. Let me go back to Dow Jones and mark that target in. Okay, I've done 2 videos on PST, so make sure you look at it. On the weekly, we've got 40, 39,778. That's that. On the daily, 47, 39,987. 39,987 is further up there. So that weekly pivot is going to be a target zone, and so is that. Okay. 39,987. There. Alright, so we've got room to go up. That's Dow Jones for you. Pullbacks to go up, we're okay to do that. And 750 again is there. And that's your 750. Nasdaq, same mentality, same kind of thing. All right, and that's Nasdaq there. Okay, so yesterday we had that zone, the HCL1, that's 17,815 today, but yesterday it would have been there. All right, so that's pretty close and nice and easy, and that is exactly at 925 is on that bar. So that's good. PST time, nice and easy, going up there. So you have to be careful there. And obviously we should head up into there. The daily is way up there. So this is now a nice easy squeeze. Be mindful, this is a pennant. Alright. Straight out of the book. Okay. So going up into a spot to sell back down. Triangle. Triangle. Okay. Is the way to go. Alright, and that could be the case again here with a good buy kiss and so on. Alright. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, we didn't have a swing day. We still don't have a swing day, so we're going to have to wait. if you want to trade it along, markets up there. Now yesterday I did say, you know, at the tops I don't like to buy, okay, but on the weekly I said we've got room to go up, right? Remember the PST levels into that zone, on the price into that zone, and I think we've marked them in yesterday, didn't we? Okay, so we have put some levels up there, as you can see. If I bring this down a little bit, can you come down? Nope. Let's check it out. Oh, it should come down. Alright, so there's still a bit of room to go into that swing day mode. Alright, now this was also yesterday, trading hours, 9:25 is there. Alright, and that's after some gap fill, market buys, and that's basically it, going up from there. Also, yeah, that was the trading hour, that's it. So the only thing you could have done yesterday on this one was, you know, just follow it up, because it's not a swing day yesterday. So it's going up, and that was the bias because of the weekly PST breakout going up. So same thing, if it pulls back, you can keep following it upwards, okay? This zone I did say is difficult because it's been sold off before, okay? So the only time you're really going to get a good idea that we're going to go above this zone is normally with technical analysis, if we break above it and close above it. But with the PST indicator breaking out on the weekly, you know, I'm more confident that we're going to go up. So we should at least hit 90,000, and then we'll see how things pan out, possibly into that zone. Okay, so there is room to go up if you want to do so on any pullback going into trading hours. Where's that? 7:50. That's 8 o'clock. 7:50 is there. Okay, so it's the high. It's pretty much the high of yesterday. Okay, so this could be a stop sweep, not the best of places to buy. If we come back down a little bit into the opening, closing, or there at the trading hour, going up with it is okay. The second option you can do is, it's 7:50, I'm going to go long. Okay, you could do that too because of the big push, and the gap is pretty much closed here. So if you want to go up, you can. Stop loss needs to be below there. Okay, obviously you got to target that 89. Let's see what I've got on the 4 hour. Yeah, on the 4 hour, it's right on the edge. This is why I don't like buying this stuff at the top. Okay, but with the weekly PST to the upside, you could do it with a smaller lot size, targeting 90,066 there. Okay, it could also go into that 56, which is the first target, 92. Then you got 94,246, 92,623, 95,100. These three targets. If it wants to keep pushing up, and it can do so until the next swing day, and that's the whole idea of the swing days, isn't it? So if I've got a swing day, I can follow the market into that swing day, and if the bias is to the upside, buying into the swing day, all the way into that swing day, is okay to do so. You just have to get the right decent places. So if that's a trading hour, then that's okay. And this trading hour is not a bad spot. Okay, it's not a bad spot for anything. So this is why I said you could also take a small position to go long. Why small? Because that's where they sold off before. Look, sell off, sell off. So you have to be careful in case things go pear-shaped. All right. Okay, I hope that helps. Any questions, any dramas, do let me know. I'm always happy to answer questions if you're stuck with anything. And please watch the PST indicator videos, because sometimes I miss giving out the prices. Okay, and but you can always pause the video, check the numbers here. Okay, check the numbers on the side, and then get pricing and so on. So there's a price indicator with price targeting on every time frame. Okay, And there's also the PST, price targeting, on every time frame, so you can measure your targets accordingly as well for anything that I'm doing a video on.